Hey there, this is Akshay Nadan. Welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we are going to cover a very cool stuff, that is how chat apps are actually built and how they actually work. So if you want to learn WebSockets protocol, or if you want to learn, or if you want to do a project using Sockets protocol with Flutter or with React Native or with any front-end framework, then building a chat application, the real world chat application, the real time chat application is the best project for you, right? I recently posted one post on LinkedIn, and if you don't know, I can like regularly post this cool and tech stuff on my LinkedIn. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, you can do that. Link is in the description. So you all demanded that I should create one descriptive video on this topic, that is how chat applications, the real-time chat applications, are built using the WebSockets protocol. You take Instagram chat, DMs, Messenger, WebSockets, this WhatsApp, all the chat apps that are there, which the bigger companies have built, Discord, they are based on this protocol that is called the WebSockets protocol. How this works, what is this, how you can build your own chat apps, the real-time chat apps using the socket protocol, everything we will cover in this video. This will be quite longer, but this video is going to give you a lot of knowledge about this sockets protocol, right? So yes, we will take example of mobile app, but yes, the same thing, the same concept is going to work for the web application, desktop application, any kind of application also, right? And if you're from Flutter background, that is great, because I'm going to take some examples of the Flutter front-end framework, right? But same concepts will be applicable to any front-end framework, and it can be React, it can be anyone, it can be anything, right? Okay, without wasting more time, let's get to our board, right? So question is how chat apps are built, how chat apps work, right? Okay, now first of all, let's see how you're going to create the front end of it, right? So we have definitely this application, or we can say that any application that is there in the world, it is divided into front end, or it is built in this way, front end and back end, right? To have sockets protocol, to have this real time experience using sockets protocol, you need to have a backend. But how can you build chat apps without a backend, just front end and your database? How can you build those? We are going to cover that also, right? So front end and backend, but our ultimate goal will be to understand both of them. Backend, yes, we will be using socket, and we will have one database connected, which will be communicating with the socket. So socket is going to communicate with the database, right? Or our server is going to communicate with the database. That will be more appropriate to say. And our front end is definitely going to be a mobile app, right? Built in Flutter. So my examples will also be a little aligned towards Flutter, right? Mobile app built in Flutter. So okay, this is okay. You can build a mobile app in Flutter, you can build a web app in Flutter, desktop apps in Flutter. That is totally fine. Socket, how socket works, we'll come to that. But first of all, let's say you do not have to include a backend in your project and you have to build a real-time chat application. How will you build it? So to build chat apps, yes, to build chat apps, we have two ways, or according to me, there are two ways. One is your casual approach, right? Not taking things seriously, just casually, we are building a chat application. Casual approach. One is your actual approach, or your serious approach, I can say. In this, the actual approach, the approach which bigger companies, the stable companies, the production companies use, is using socket. We'll come to this, right? Casual approach. Casual approach is okay, you have a Flutter app, right? And you have a Firebase. You have Firebase. No backend, no server, no socket. Directly use a stream builder and is going to communicate with the Firebase directly. You know about streams, right? They're just wrappers around your streams, right? You can use this stream builder to have a real-time chat application. This will also be fast, no doubt in that. But a lot of restrictions, a lot of things you won't be able to do it, right? So Flutter directly communicating with the Firebase, no security, nothing, data encryption there or not, it's totally up to you, but not a stable application, not a stable approach, or I can say that not the feasible approach to go into production using this Flutter app directly communicating with Firebase using the stream builders. But yes, if you are building a college project, just a casual project, then yes, you can go ahead and build a real-time chat application using stream builders or feature builders with Flutter and your Firebase. This is your casual approach, where the UI is going to look like this. You will have a screen like this. Here you will have an app bar. Here the photo of the person with whom you are talking, the name, and here you can have a dot which represents whether the person is online or not, the green dot, right? And here you will be having your chat messages. On the left you will have the messages which other people are sending to you, and here you will be your messages, and at the bottom you're going to have a text field, and here you will be your send button. And yes, you can have audio or emojis or images, attachments, anything. This is how your chat apps UI look like, right? Now the question is, this is a casual approach. You can build it using stream builders and Firebase and Flutter. Now how can you build it using Socket? In this, the disadvantages, first of all, let me cover the disadvantages, why you should not go with casual approach if you are building it for building it as a production project for your company. Because if you, let's say everybody knows Firebase, right? How it works. It is having Cloudflare, so it is having real-time database. Let's say you have to build this green dot feature where you can show this green dot whether the person is online or not. Just think about it. How will you do it? Just think, pause the video, think about it, and put the solution in the comment section. How will you build it? So one solution can be like, let's say whenever I open the app, I update my database. I will be having one Firestore, right? In this, I can maintain one key value pair, which stores whether this user ID user is online or not. By default, it will be false. But let's say as soon as I open the app, I am online, right? Then this will become true, right? But again, the problem is how you are going to send this information to another user who is chatting with this person. You can create a request and you can update the database, but that updated data you need to send it to other users also. Let's say it's a group chat. How will you send this updated data to all the 100 people who are there in this group chat, whether Akshit is sitting online or not? This is not real time. It looks like that it is real time chat application, but it's not real time. You have to do a lot of jugaad, or you have to do a lot of patches to make it or to give it a real time experience. All of this can be solved using Socket. So first of all, let's see why we created Socket, right? What were the things that resulted in creation of the Socket? Let's go ahead with the same example, right? So this video is going to be quite long, but after this video, you will be a master of Socket concept, not coding wise, but concept wise, right? So let's say you have to use this thing only. Let's say there is no Socket existing in the world. Let's say you have to do this only. How will you do it? So you will have user 1 here. You will have user 2 here, right? Here is your database, which is nothing but Firebase, right? Let's say this user has come online now, right? This user has come online and it has updated your Firebase that I am online. This is my database or this is my server. Okay. Now what can happen is there is a concept called polling. There is a concept called polling. That means this user 2, this is my client, right? This is my client 2, this is my client 1. This client 2 will ping the Firebase or create a request to the Firebase after every 1 second. After every second. So every second we are making a request to the Firebase. Hey, is user 1 online? Is user 1 online? Is user 1 online? Is user 1 online? Like this. Firebase say it's not online. It's not online. But let's say this user came online. This user 1 has come online now. Then Firebase say yes, it is online. So it is a lot of requests that are going to go between Firebase and your user 2. This is called polling. It is coming from the word poll. So this user 2 is polling this Firebase again and again, right? After every second to get the updated data. So now you think that this user 2 is having a real-time chat experience with user 1, but ultimately at the back end, it's a lot of requests. Hundreds of requests are going. 60 requests are going in 1 minute. You can think about it, how many reads, how many writes are going to be there, which will be recorded in your Firebase. A lot of bill, right? This is called polling. Okay. There is another concept called long polling. Let's see that. Again, you have user 1, you have user 2, right? This is going to make a request to Firebase, right? and till it has, so request is there, but it is not giving any response, it is not giving any acknowledgement, we can say. But as soon as this user one comes online, then it is going to send you a result. Yes, now it is online, and now the green dot will become green, right? That circle will become green. So this is called long polling because a lot of time is there between the request and your response, right? This is called long polling. So this is your long polling. This was polling because requests were after every second, so no as such delay. But here it is long polling because there's a lot of delay between your request and your response. Then we came to socket. Now let's come to socket. What is socket? How socket works? You know about HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. WSS, that is your WebSockets. The full form of socket, that is WebSockets. It's a protocol which is an upgrade of your HTTP protocol, an advanced HTTP protocol. How HTTP protocol works? Here is my client, here is my server, right? Here is my client, here is my server. Client makes a request to your server. Server sends a response to your client. This is called a TCP connection, and we know it as an HTTP protocol. How this HTTP protocol works: client, server, and communication is happening, right? WebSockets protocol is an upgrade to this TCP connection, and it builds a bidirectional connection between client and server. That means this is for like one time request, response, connection is over. This is a built connection. This is not breaking. This is a upgraded connection, upgraded TCP connection, right? So this is bidirectional. Here the data had to flow from client to server first, then server to client, and that's it. Here the data can flow from client to server and server to client at the same time as a bidirectional approach, in a bidirectional way, right? Both ways. This is called WebSocket, and this is the beauty of WebSockets because now the things can work in real time, right? Now let's come to our chat app example. This is my Flutter app, right, which is having some features, right? Now how WebSockets work. So for to understand this WebSockets chat app, you need to understand that WebSockets has your events and it has your states, right? So WebSocket server. So let's say this is my client, and this is let's take another slide. This is my client, this is my server, this is my second client, right, which is chatting with this user A. So this is my user A phone, this is my user B phone, this is my server, right, which is having socket implementation at the backend level. So as soon as this, so now understand this events and state. Okay, we have to understand these two things, events and states, right? As soon as this user comes online, we have to notify this user B that now I have come online, right? This is the task. This user A. So in HTTP protocol you had request and response. In server we have events and states. I'll explain how this works. Events and states. This user A, it's considered as a box. This box has, and we have database also, right? We can't forget database. Database can be Firebase, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, SQL, anything. So this server is like a box. Socket server is like a box. Whenever you add something in it, it gives you back something, right? That adding of the thing is called an event. That returning thing is called state. Request and response. It's like request and response. This user A adds an event to this server. Online event. This event will be called online event. Online event. This event can carry data. This event will carry what? The user ID. Which user is online, right? As soon as you add this event to this server can emit a state, can throw a state. This state will go here also, this state will go here also, right? All the clients who have subscribed to this socket server will listen to that state. This state will again contain data that this state will be also having name state event, or the online state we can call. This state will also contain data which user has come online. This user will say, okay, I have come online, I know this, I don't need to do anything, right? But this user B will get a state and get a user ID that, okay, user A has come online. I need to show a green dot in front of that user A now. So that green dot will start reflecting. I hope you're getting this. So that green dot will start reflecting as soon as you receive a state from your socket server. So here you can see this user B does not have to do anything with the server. It has just subscribed it. Now that server can also send data to your user B. It's a bi-directional approach. Data can flow from client to server and server to client both. This is the beauty of socket server. Things can flow bi-directionally. Again, let's take another example. This is my first event and state that happens, the first transaction that happens. Let's clean this. Okay, this is clean now, right? Now what happens? This user A starts typing something. A, B, C. As soon as it has started writing something, we again add an event to server, the socket server. Typing event. This will again contain a data of user ID. Which user has started typing? This socket server will listen to it and at the same time emit a state to all the subscribers that, hey, user ID has started typing. This will be a typing state and contain the user ID, right? That, okay, user A has started typing. I have to show that typing dot in front of user A, right? So that's how this thing is working. The typing thing that you get wondered how this WhatsApp is showing that online and that typing dot thing. This is how it works using socket protocol, right? So this was your second thing. Now let's consider something from user B to user A, how things will go from here to there, right? So let's clean this. Now let's say, now I'll show you the usage of this database. Now let's say user B has sent a message, text message, hey, right? This hey it has sent, right? This hey will go as an event to my socket server. What it will contain? It will contain, first of all, the name of the event will be message event, right? It will contain the user ID, that is your sender ID. It will contain the receiver ID, who is going to receive this message. Then it is going to contain text, right? And it will contain a boolean attachment. Attachment will be false because there is no image and file we are attaching, but text is going to contain this hey. And as soon as this socket server receives it, the server is going to send a state to this and this subscriber. This server will emit a state that will be called new message state. Here we don't need to do anything. User B, we don't need to do anything because this knows that I have sent a message, I know. But this user A will get the message sender ID, receiver ID, then text. As soon as this user A receives this new message state, it is going to show that box on the left hand side, hey, right? So that's how things are going bidirectionally. And in between the event and state thing has happened, in between this server is going to save this message in my DB. The DB will be populated with a new document that will contain sender ID, receiver ID, text and attachment. Right? Now the last thing, how attachments are sent, how images and videos, audios, and all those files are sent. That's a bit tricky to understand. We'll take a new slide. This is my user A. This is my user B. This is my server, my sweet socket server. This is my database. And this is my object storage. Let's consider it as like this. This is my object storage. Object storage is what? Which stores files, which stores objects basically. This is my normal database. It can be MongoDB or Firestore, right? Now, this user A has to send an image to user B. As soon as I pick an image and I hit the send button, I have picked an image, I hit a send button. First of all, that you see when you send an image to a person, first for 3-4 seconds when the image is loading or uploading, it shows that circle progress indicator, that rounded thing, that it is being sent. That is the time. So first thing, when you are sending an image to a user B, first of all you have to upload that image to our object storage. This object storage is going to give you one link, or basically the location of that image in this object storage back. You take that location and put it with you. Now send a event to your server, right? Here the event will be message event. It will contain sender ID, receiver ID. Text will be anything that is your caption of your image, and it will contain attachment as true, link, the link which we just got from your object storage. And this server is going to store this document in your DB and then emit a state to your user B and user A. User A will not do anything, but user B, it is going to show the image using this link of the object storage, right? And below that it will be the text, that will be your caption, and caption will be the text that we are going to get from here, the user A. That's how objects are sent. Attachments are uploaded and then saved in your DB and then sent to your receivers. I hope you got it. Now it's time for you to give it a shot. Give it a shot in Flutter, and for Socket you can use Node Express. You can use any backend programming language, right? Give it a shot. If you're not getting this, if you're not able to build a real-time chat application using Socket, put in the comment section that, hey Akshit, we are interested, and please show us the implementation part also. I'll show you, I'll build a chat application using Socket and Flutter then. But first of all, you all give it a shot. I hope you like this video, and do follow me on LinkedIn. There I push such content regularly, and then you can demand some video also on LinkedIn, and also you can follow me on Instagram, right? So I hope you like this video. I hope you are liking my content, and till the next video, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.